Our mission has been to reach the Starfleet intelligence base in the ISAR system and speak to a prisoner we can find there who will only talk to us. Turns out that prisoner is in fact the Mirror Universe Admiral Lita, who claims to be in possession of information which we would find vital. The Terran Empire has a dire new weapon that can destroy entire planets, but a faction within them thinks that their Emperor has gone mad with power, and this weapon will likely result in the destruction of too much. She beamed here across universes after being betrayed, for her opinion, by the Mirror Universe Kuumaarke.
I'd love to stay and slay, but duty calls, I'm afraid. Until next time.
Unfortunately, the Terrans tracked her down and raided this station, managing to swipe some intel and purge our own systems to cover their tracks. With little options left, we prepare to follow them into the Mirror Universe and repay the favour.
I hope you're ready for a fight. If I know Kuumaarke, she'll send a welcoming committee to greet us on the other side. She's so thoughtful. You know, for a sadistic purple sociopath.
Well, I mean, being sadistic and sociopathic could get you very far in the Terran Empire. Being purple, not so much. Commander De Soto from the Khonshu calls in to let us know he's ready.
The dimensional portal activator is online. We're ready to move out on your mark.
Then the order is given to Soto. Fire up the prototype. The Khonshu stealth frigate fires up its dimensional rift device and a tear to the Mirror Universe appears. This must be similar tech to the abilities that the Terrans utilise to bring across their raiding parties, or things like Species 8472. This device, in theory, if all works out, should not actually go anywhere in space or time, and we should emerge exactly where we are, just in a different reality. With the portal active, we make for the rift and proceed across the looking glass.
Top marks for effort, but I'm afraid I'll have to lower your score for effectiveness. Your precious data has already been delivered to my colleagues on the station.
Efficient. I would applaud you, except that, we kind of expected that. So, this is far from over.
It's charming that you think so. I'd keep you as a pet, but the Emperor wants your head on a platter. And who am I to say no to our supreme ruler? I do hope you'll die screaming. It's so much more entertaining that way.
Okay, firstly, don't you threaten me with a good time. And secondly, you won't hear me over the sound of your exploding ships.
Told ya. She's as predictable as a warp core breach.
Speaking of, all hands prepare for battle, lock targets. There are a number of Terran ships moving to intercept us, so we begin with targeting those on the flanks rather than the centre. The escorts can hit pretty hard and are manoeuvrable, but are poorly shielded, so taking them out of the fight early is probably best. Despite the planning, we are the first ones into the fray and take the brunt of the initial assault. Fortunately, we survive it. Seeing an opportunity, however, we spy that their cruiser is badly damaged, so we switch targets to take it down.
My, you're better at this than the last time we met. Too bad you play for the other side. Hell of a
Well, you know what, unfortunately I've had a lot of practice recently. It's also rather unnerving to see how nonchalant Lita is at the casual destruction of her own people. Soon of the intercepting vessels there is only one cruiser left, and we focus all our firepower on it until we hit something and it goes up. However, the ISAR station is still ahead, and unlike our version, this has some sort of visible defensive deflector barrier. Not to mention a small fleet still guarding it.
Take out their shield generators if you want to beam down to the station and get your data back.
Thank you for your tactical insight, Admiral. That is exactly what I intend to do after I take out the defensive fleet. Soon, however, our escorting Starfleet intelligence vessels are able to engage the remaining ships, and we're able to open fire on the defensive shield. It seems this barrier is maintained by a series of satellites around the asteroid, which are, fortunately for us, still accessible.
Good. Their shields are gone. Let's clear out the defenders so we can safely beam down.
Having dealt with that, we turn around to aid our wingmen in mopping up the rest of the fleet. The station is almost identical to our own, which explains the ease with which the Terrans were able to raid it. Fortunately, this works both ways. We know its layout too.
Now that we've finished off the welcoming committee, why don't we beam down to the station? The longer Kuumaarke has that data, the more damage she'll do with it.
We assemble a team and we bring Admiral Lita with us. Like it or not, she has the best chance of slicing through any security we encounter. We'll start by sneakily beaming into a cargo room.
We need to move fast. The data labs are on a different deck, and they'll be coming for us soon.
Agreed, both in here and out there.
Attention all hands. The traitor and her pets have arrived. Do bring me their heads, won't you?
Okay, maybe our beaming wasn't as quiet as I'd hoped.
Well, that was quick. Still, this is a Terran station, and Terrans aren't terribly fond of taking orders from aliens. We might find a useful ally in the agonizer chamber. Let's drop by and see who's suffering for defying the Purple People Crusher.
The xenophobia of the Terran Empire. How quaint. Come on, let's move before they find us. Why do I hear transport? Oh shit, they found us.
I'm gonna claim the glory for this one.
It seems our raid is off to a great start, with our beam-in point already detected and swarming with Terrans. We emerge into the corridor beyond and note that the interior design is very similar to our ISR station, just with red carpets and dimmer lighting. Apparently, many Terrans dislike bright light, and I have to wonder if this is, just because they don't like their stations properly. Moving on through the station, we locate a room that is dedicated to just agonizer booths. These devices exist to keep a victim in a constant state of pain, adapting the settings to prevent them getting used to it. Only one of these cells is currently active with a familiar face inside.
Oh, look, it's our DeSoto. Better turn the agonizer off before he dies.
We do so from the central control console.
Thank you.
Let's see what he has to say. I'm dying to hear how he wound up in the booth.
We'll talk with him in a minute, we just need to secure the corridor ahead first.
You. Figures. The only person who'll help me is an enemy from another universe.
Enemy of my enemy something. What are you doing in there?
Kuumaarke. She's been using Terrans as lab rats, testing the Emperor's new toys on them. Wasn't right. No Terran should be put to death by alien scum like her. Or that Bajoran traitor behind you. I tried to stop her. As you can see, that didn't work out for me.
Ah, man, you were so close to winning a tiny bit of respect and then you blew it. Okay, so what are these toys you mentioned?
The Emperor is obsessed with that stuff. Thinks it'll make him invincible. Has something to do with...
Boring conversation anyway.
Did you just step back from that control panel?
Looks like Kuumaarke used the agonizer to keep poor DeSoto quiet. Loose lips sink ships, after all. What? You don't think I did that, do you? Your team had eyes on me the whole time, champ.
Really? Perhaps I'm overestimating your abilities at sleight of hand, then. Either way, he's dead now. So we need to keep you alive to ask you about these toys of the Emperor's.
Oh, and I'm really looking forward to that, let me tell ya. Can we go now? It'd be good to get what we came for before Kuumaarke calls in every Terran in comms range to murder us.
This was a wasted detour. Let's find a turbolift and move on. Naturally, along the way we run into more Terrans and have to dispatch them before we can even use the lift.
Perhaps I wasn't clear earlier. Kill Lita and her thugs. Now!
While the battle to the turbolift was in our favour, as they were boxed in and we were able to just hose them down with explosives, emerging from the turbolift puts us in the opposite position and we have to fight our way through a rather fortified defensive line. After eventually breaking through, there is no rest for the righteous and we have to continue fighting our way through the corridors.
Hey, better let me handle that lock, Chief. I can crack it like an egg. Just make sure I don't get shot in the back while I work on it, okay?
Well, no promises, so you better work quickly. Well, to her credit, she does what she said she would and manages to open the door to the Central Archives. We're free to move on in, but of course, there are more Terrans waiting for us inside. What follows is a strong sense of deja vu as we fight our way against the Terrans up to the central control room of the main data core. With the room secured for now, but reinforcements on the way, we make haste to attempt to retrieve our data, but unfortunately the console is rather well encrypted.
Oh, locked you out, didn't she? Kuumaarke's good, but she's not as good as me. I can crack her security and get to that data, but you're gonna have to trust me.
Or, alternatively, I brought Scarin with me, my chief engineer, for this reason.
You could, and I'm sure they're gifted, but do they know the latest in Terran security protocols? No, because I do. The time they'll waste getting past those is time Kuumaarke can use to bring in enough Terrans to put an end to this little raid of yours, fast. So, what's the call here, boss?
I hate that you're making sense right now, so just get on it, and security, watch her.
Ooh, see? You can be reasonable when you try. I'll get started then. Wait, hold on.
What hum?
That exocomp over there. We can use that to expedite things. Reprogram it to help us. When a console becomes active, unlock the console and wait for the exocomp to do the decryption.
Alright, that's not a bad idea. Notice anything else?
Yeah, expect company. Angry company. You'll have to protect the exocomp while it's working. If it's damaged, do what you can to get it operational again. Oh, and keep me alive, too. Thanks.
The exocomp she's talking about is kept in a bracket on the opposing wall. The small sentient robots have been granted AI rights in the Federation, but not here.
Exocomp, Legume, Creel. Ready to receive new instructions. Exocomp self-actualization subroutines halted. Provide specific instructions.
Data's heading to the console at 9 o'clock. Get it before it's lost!
So, this exocomp has had its self-awareness nerfed by some software, meaning that right now it's merely a drone awaiting for specific instruction. I do not like that we're going to have to use it in this fashion, and I feel like I've been tricked into activating it, but it's online now. As Lita predicted, Terran reinforcements are swift to respond to our
Data's
incursion.
heading to the console at 1 o'clock. Get it before it's lost!
Lita operates the central arm in the ceiling, which lowers to connect to a data core which is extracted into one of the 3 interfaces around the edge of the room. The exocomp then interfaces with that to see if it can retrieve the data, and the process begins again.
Data's heading to the console at 5 o'clock. Get it before it's lost!
All the while, Terrans continue to pour in from one of the 3 entrances, and we have to protect both Lita and our little exocomp buddy.
Keep it up! There's more to go! Got it! Finish off our uninvited guests so we can get out of here!
The last Terran to enter the fray appears to be the Chief of Security herself, but is wielding a giant Gatling laser.
Alright, we have what we came for. Take the exocomp with us. It'll be useful when we need to decrypt all of this data.
That is a very pragmatic and true thing to say, and I'm also bringing it with us because I don't want to leave that little thing here with you guys.
Great! Now let's get out of here while we still can.
Welcome back. I take it you found what we came for?
Mission accomplished, and it looks like you've been busy out here.
That's good news. Unfortunately, it's all bad news out here. Kuumaarke's back. She brought reinforcements. We'll have to deal with them if we're going to make the jump back to our universe.
That is a fairly sizable fleet. You've done well. I'm picking up a ship called the Rescava. That must be Kuumaarke, but what's the Brookhaven?
The Brookhaven is generating some sort of advanced protection field on Kuumaarke's flagship. We'll need to deal with the Brookhaven first before we can even put a scratch on the Rescava.
Understood. We have our priority target then.
Like the 14 sacred trees of Lugar, I am invincible. Make peace with your gods.
Oh, the Brookhaven is protecting the Rescava. You need to take it out first.
The Brookhaven is a mirror universe version of a Miracle Worker cruiser. These ships are incredibly durable and tough, at least in our universe, and are used as somewhere between a mobile fleet repair station and engineering response vessel. Suffice to say, they are slow, cumbersome, but very well defended, with powerful shields, and apt at maintaining and repairing other vessels. The Rescava, in the meantime, is not the small prototype Lucari vessel from our universe, but a fairly modern Somerville-class research vessel.
You're quite capable in battle. Perhaps I will make you my pet after all. Of course, you will need to be broken and disciplined.
I mean, I'm flattered, but I think we're on different wavelengths and you're scary. With the Brookhaven gone, the Rescava beats a hasty retreat.
This delaying tactic has gone on long enough. Be seeing you.
Ew. Please tell me I don't sound like that to you.
No, Admiral, you most definitely do not. Now, let's mop up the remainders and get out of here. Well, I say the remainders, but it's still a rather sizable fleet that Kuumaarke has left us to deal with. Nevertheless, watching their leader flee the field seems to have done wonders for their morale, and they're soon dealt with.
Looks like we caught a break. We better get back to our universe before she returns with a full Terran armada.
Indeed, we've not seen the last of her. You prep your device, I'll see if I can draw some fire off of you so we can use it and get the hell out of here.
Right. We'll open the portal. Once it's ready, go through and cross over. We'll cover you. Okay. We're all set here. Just give the word when you're ready.
Commander, I was ready 10 minutes ago.
You're all clear. Get through the portal. There's no more time. Go! Tactical. Target the lead cruiser and fire at will.
The portal, it shut behind us. Does DeSoto make it?
Oh, looks like the Khonshu didn't make it. Guess it wasn't a good day for the DeSotos of either universe.
That is enough out of you, Admiral. You will be quiet, or I will return you to a cell. A much smaller cell.
Ooh, touched a nerve, did I? Sorry about that. Look, it wasn't all bad. We got your missing data and some choice Terran data to go along with it.
What?
You didn't think I'd stop when I collected your data, did you? What did I say earlier? Knowledge is power. And based on what I saw in there, I'd say we have quite a bit of power to enjoy here.
Are you telling me we could have been out of there like 5 minutes, but... We'll put a pin in this. Comms, hail the station.
We read you. We're only picking up one ship out there, though.
The Khonshu and our escorts, they didn't make it. We're the only ones to return.
Understood. Was the mission a success?
Aye, we got it done.
That's good to know. Thank you. We have a lot of repairs to make over here, but if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.
Righto, we'll send over the data and you can reincorporate it. Armiger out.
If I might make a suggestion, let's take our prize somewhere with a lot more defenses than this station. Kuumaarke might come after us. Again. And we're sitting ducks where we are now.
Again, she has a point. We should store this data somewhere else. The speed at which the Terrans procured it hints at a capable tactical ability at work here, and we would be fools to offer them a chance to just simply repeat it. This Mira Kuumaarke is every bit as intelligent as our own, but with a mind bent towards warfare, it seems. We set a course out of the system and back to Sol for no other reason than it is probably the most secure place I can think of.
Lives are never a cost we want to pay. I'm sure that the data you brought back will bring meaning to the sacrifices made today. I'm surprised at the level of cooperation you received from Admiral Lita. Whatever the Terran Emperor is up to must have really spooked her. I think we have a long, difficult road ahead of us on this. Alliance intelligence is working overtime to decrypt the data you recovered from the Terrans. The exocomp you liberated has been quite useful in that endeavor. With luck, we'll have more insight on the Emperor's plans soon.
Agreed. And I can't shake the feeling that there's another chess player at work here.
And so they run home, tails between their legs. They probably think they've won. Poor deluded fools. We have everything we need from them. The location of the Emperor's prize is now known. He will be most pleased. Make sure all is ready for the next stage. Soon we will strike. For the glory of the Empire!
For the glory of the Empire! For the glory of the Empire!